And their biggest away to Spurs since the 70s. What a way to react to dropping points in the fashion that Arsenal did against bottom side Wolves in the week, which was a bit of a shock to everybody, really. And more questions asked about Arsenal. Man City winning again yesterday, asking even more questions, and that is the perfect response. Victory and 4 goals in the derby, and Gyökeres with arguably his best performance in an Arsenal shirt as well, scoring those 2. I suppose, Jamie, it's of course big consequence for Arsenal. We'll start though our analysis looking at Spurs and a new approach. Well, we thought there might be a new approach from their manager Igor Tudor, who had talked about how confident he was before the game of Spurs getting clear of trouble. What did you think of the way they went about it?
He spoke before the game about being on the front foot and being aggressive. And when you talk about taking the game to the opposition, for me, a lot of that is off the ball. How high do you put your back line? How aggressive are you in your press? And it was a man-to-man press all over the pitch. Now, Mikel Arteta and his analysts will know this manager well, even if we don't in the Premier League. And it is really man-to-man orientated, and they dragged some of the Spurs players all over the pitch. So before this clip even starts now, as we get into it, there's Eze on the last line, and he's dragging Basuma here. Do you understand what I mean? So it's a real man-to-man, he's then in the back. So one thing that did happen was what the wing-backs did in terms of pressing for Tottenham and who they went after. So they didn't stay deep. So as this ball comes into David Raya, before we even get to that, let me just highlight where the Spurs centre-backs are. So there's Palhinha. He's your right-sided centre-back because Trossard's now dragging him inside. We've just mentioned Eze. Gyökeres kept pulling to the left, OK? That's to drag the central defender, Dragusin, out wide. So again, the rotations from Arsenal were absolutely fantastic. But a big thing that happened in the game constantly was this, where Jed Spence and on the other side Archie Gray would jump to the fullback, and certainly on this side Van de Ven would come across and come and take Saka. And there was a lot of big challenges early on from Van de Ven. But for me, this clip sums up the first half, where Tottenham went man-to-man, they were aggressive, trying to get the crowd involved, but they never, ever looked comfortable, never looked in control, and it always felt like everything was last-ditch. A last-ditch tackle, maybe a save from the goalkeeper, a situation like this. You felt like, as a Tottenham fan, your heart was permanently in your mouth in this game, and that was probably
the last 5 years.
Yes, it's almost summing up a little bit. You know, it's a small sample size, obviously, it's one clip, but probably a little idea about how Tottenham went about it in this game. But in the first goal, now what happens is something similar, but it's hard to organise it as such because it's right by the box. So what you get is, when the ball comes out, is they clear it. So Jed Spence now comes out to Timber because that's his job. But what happens is Van de Ven's now in the box. He's thinking maybe a cross might come in. So what happens, where's Van de Ven can cope in the wide areas with Bukayo Saka? It's now Sarr who's out here now. So what you've got is a 1v1 between a midfield player and one of the best wide players in the Premier League, and he can't cope with it. So Saka goes past him with these because the centre-back is in here, Van de Ven. So he goes past him. It's too easy. And listen, it goes through Conor Gallagher's legs, but that from Eze is absolutely fantastic. Brilliant from him, brilliant touch to flicker up. Whether he meant it, we'll have a little look at that now, but it's a brilliant finish. But there's been a lot of criticism of Arsenal, and at times I think fair, in terms of do they play at times with the handbrake on. So as this ball flicks up, lovely touch, as he's about to finish, you've got full-back, centre-back. So you've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players almost in the box at 0-0 away from home in a derby game. So that, for me, as I said, they were on the front foot, they were really aggressive, and they were far better than Tottenham.
Heard it described as a simple finish, but you see how high his boot is there. Jamie, can we run a little test?
Come on.
Can you get your... This is where he struck that ball up here.
Okay.
And he's done it super quick, without any kind of backlift.
No.
No.
No, not happening.
It's not even close.
No. And as he rightly said to Pat Davidson, it wasn't easy. It was fantastic. But a player who
24 seconds after kick-off,
yes,
the restart.
Maybe thought it was a little bit easier as Declan Rice. And I just want to highlight Declan Rice in the full clip, because he's actually really good on a couple of occasions. So, and he was the one who obviously was saying about everyone keep your heads. But he's really good here, gets back, gets the right side of Simons, takes the ball off him. That's the job of that midfield player. The space opens up again for Simons, who comes across. Declan Rice does really, as he does brilliantly, and he covers the ground brilliantly. When I was watching this, the only way I could describe it was what he does now is, because I don't think he's a lad who is cocky or anything. I don't think he is that. But he knows how good he is. And it's almost like when you think you're the best player in the schoolyard as a kid, and you think, I can do something because it's only up against Muani or Simons. And he just makes a mistake, a big mistake, and makes it 1-1. And listen, Colin Muani might be one of the players who flourishes under the new manager. He did really well for him before. I think he's got 5 goals in 11.
At Juventus under Tudor, yeah.
Yes,
so obviously he respects him, and it's a good, fruitful relationship between the two.
Yeah, it was. And listen, really good strike. But I must say, when I was watching, I was thinking, could the goalkeeper do any more? Because it was really close to him. And just as he gets the shot off, I just want to look there. If I pause that there now, the problem is he's still in the air. You see his left foot. He almost can't make the save. Because I was thinking, could he make a save like David De Gea used to do?
The foot out. But
when you stick your foot out, to make that save when it's really close, because it's really difficult to get down with your hand. But he can't get his left foot because it's still in the air. It's not planted yet. It only plants. Well, it doesn't plant. He actually tries.
It's past him, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a technique Rob Green talks about, where you actually get the leg, shift it out the way to try and get down, but he can't get down quick enough, and he couldn't, as I said, make the sort of block with his foot because it was still in midair.
So it felt like there was a contest on, but how crucial was it that Arsenal took the advantage so early in the second half?
Yeah, it was, because the longer the game goes on, the more nervous you get. But, I mean, when the game was level, Tottenham really very rarely ever got out of their own half. It didn't happen at all. It only happened when they sort of went behind. But you just see the position he finds himself in there now. Now, you've got to be disappointed as a Spurs manager if you're playing with a back three and that ball comes to the centre forward and it just lands there. The lovely first touch. And the thing I like about Gyökeres is his mentality. I don't think he's a world-class striker, or he's an amazing striker for Arsenal for the next sort of 5 or 6 years. But there's a mentality about the lad that I absolutely love. There's no sort of lack of confidence there. It's just whack. Bang. It's sheer, like, you know, that sort of mentality. And he just bangs it into that goal. And as Gary Neville said on commentary, that's the best I think we've seen Gyökeres play in an Arsenal shirt. Absolutely fantastic finish.
Let's have a look at that, because they put the icing on the cake with 3-1 and 4-1. I think you, watching it with you, Jamie, said this could be anything when it got to this stage.
Yeah, it felt like that, because, you know, Spurs couldn't cope. They were going man to man. They had to then go for the game. And just the quality Arsenal have is far superior to this team. And then Van der Ven makes a decent tackle, but Eze, he just loves the North London derby, and you can imagine whether there are any Tottenham fans having a few drinks tonight talking about that Eze deal that never quite happened. The one that got away.
5 of his 6 goals in the North London derby. His first shots on target today since the last game against Spurs. He clearly saves his best for them. And this is lovely, isn't it, the ref cam?
Yeah.
And you saw the reaction as well, Jamie. The lovely little backspin. I can do that. You saw the reaction on the sidelines from Mikel Arteta when Gyökeres' second goal. Now, the result is completely beyond any doubt at this stage. Is it the fact that this centre-forward that they've invested so much money and time in is producing and could be vital in these last few weeks?
It could be. And what I would say is credit to the manager. I felt that they had to come away from Gyökeres, and I thought at some stage he might cost them. But the manager stuck with him week after week, and the strength he shows there again to knock off Archie Gray in that right-back position, again, is very Shearer-like, you know, getting that left arm across, knocking defenders out the way. And as I go back to it, we were looking at how many strikers Arsenal had available. They're not quite available right now, but there was certainly 3 or 4 options, and I felt he was a little bit down the pecking order. And a couple of times I was quite surprised when he played, to be honest, but fair play to the manager. He's kept him in there and he's repaid him in, what is for Arsenal their biggest game of the season against their North London rivals.
2 fabulous goals from Victor Gyökeres, 4 in all for Arsenal against Spurs. And let's have a look how that leaves us then with the remaining fixtures in this two-pronged title race, it seems right now, with City with one more game against Crystal Palace to be pushed into this schedule somewhere. If we just remember, Jamie, that after Arsenal have Everton and after Manchester City have West Ham away, they meet in the Carabao Cup final. It's bottom 6 sides. The red indicates top 6. So on paper, City have got a nice run there. Do you see more potential problems for Arsenal before that game, before the Carabao Cup final?
I could definitely see that that 2-point gap that they have, right? I know it's a 5-point gap, but they got the game in hand, but if we're classing it as a 2-point gap, I could definitely see that going before that cup final. You could see maybe Arsenal dropping, maybe drawing a game at home to Chelsea, or maybe at Brighton. One of those games I could see them maybe dropping 2 points, where I could see Manchester City winning those 3 games going into that cup final. And I do believe that cup final is absolutely huge, more for Arsenal than Manchester City, because we know Manchester City can get across the line. I think if Arsenal don't win that cup final, it'll all start again where people like Liverpool, can they win a trophy? It's been so long without a trophy, and you don't know how that would affect the players. So I think it's a really big game, that cup final.
Interesting. Listen, we don't need reminding of your popularity around here, so we have to say goodbye to you. But as always, good to see you, my friend.
Cheers.
Jermaine Defoe has other places to be. We have to get some reaction from one of Arsenal's double goal-scoring heroes. Big day for him as well. Victor Gyökeres is with Alex Alger.
Victor, congratulations, massive win, your first ever North London derby. How pleased can you be with the way it went?
Yeah, of course, very pleased. I think, we started really well. I think we created some good chances. Then maybe we did like we've done a few games where we conceded straight away after we took the lead, which of course didn't help. But the reaction was much better. And I think we just kept digging and then believed in the team that we're going to continue in the second half. And we certainly did, and I think we deserve to win.
Your first goal, really important to restore Arsenal's lead, and it was a brilliant goal. You must be delighted with that one.
Yeah, it was a nice goal. It was a good ball from JT. I think Ebbs left it, and then it was just to get a good setup and then strike it well. And I think it was a good strike. And
talk us through your second goal, also very good.
Yeah, it was nice also. It was good. Nice pass from Martin, and just need to hold the defender off and then put it in the net. And it was nice to finish it off like that.
You seem to be playing with so much confidence. 5 goals in your last 5 Premier League games. What is making the difference?
I think like today, I think I was involved a lot. I got a lot of balls. I think maybe could have done better in certain situations, but that's football. You always can improve. But I think just to be involved and feel that you're in the game, I think it helps a lot. And then of course, when you get to know the players even better and know how they do in certain situations, I think it makes it easier. And I think it feels really good right now.
How confident are you that you're going to play a key role in Arsenal's charge for the Premier League title?
Yeah, I always try to come with my attribute that I can do on the pitch, and always do my best and help the team. And of course we have our goals and we want to achieve them together. So we just keep going like this.
Player of the match in your first North London derby. You got the trophy here. Where's that going at home?
Let's see, maybe the kitchen table or something like that, so I can see it every day.
Every day, brilliant. When you're eating. Thank you so much, Victor. Well done.
Alex, thank you very much indeed. He'll have a big kitchen table though, let's be honest. No, let's get serious, because we had a long chat actually right at the start of the day about Victor Gyökeres, his numbers, his movement, his hold-up play, how he was fitting into this Arsenal team. Best day in an Arsenal Premier League shirt?
I think so. I mean, as we said earlier, that's double figures for the season in terms of Premier League goals for him. But a lot of his goals have not really mattered. There have been 2 goals in a 5-0 victory. There have been 1 goal in a 3-0 victory. There's been a goal in another, I think, 2-0 victory. They've not really. Today it mattered. Today it really mattered. Now, is this guy good enough to lead the line for Arsenal in the years to come? Maybe. Not sure. I mean, his movement is very good and his finishing is exceptional. But outside of that, he's got a lot of improvement. His hold-up play is really, really poor. He gives the ball away an awful lot. But I love his work rate. He doesn't stop running. Even in the last few minutes, he was still doing. And that finish there, I mean, his finish is good, but his first touch to set it up was fantastic. And as he says here, it was all about holding the defender off, using your strength, knowing where he is, keeping the ball on your right-hand side, and then a little bit of lift for the finish. His choice of finishes and his movement are exceptional. As I say, if he can improve some of the rest of his game, he could be in business.
Interesting. And what will those 2 goals and his all-round performance today in a game that matters so much do for his belief and confidence, Adi, as a goal scorer?
This is a big moment, obviously, for a striker. If you're not scoring goals, I think the goal king is here. He will tell you about it. You'll be in doubt, and when you are going to game, you're panicking. When you see the goalkeeper, you don't know what to do. But today, scoring 2 goals when it matters the most, his belief would be like, I think, too much right now. And now, obviously, this is the time for him to go and talk to his midfielders and tell them, give me the ball now, I'm ready. And this is the time that we need a striker that can give or that can bring the league into the club, which is him, obviously. If they have to win the league, he have to score another at least 10 more goals to the end of the season to bring the league, because he's the main striker for the club. If he's scoring only 10, 12 goals, you can't win the league with a third striker scoring 12 goals. So he have to find a way, talk to his teammate, and be the way he was today is unbelievable. But he have to keep going. He have to score more goals. He have to have more belief in his football. As he said, scoring goals, we all know his quality in front of the goal. But now he have to know how to link up play, chase the ball down, be calm when he think the team need to come out, control the ball for your team, and tell them to come forward. That's what we need, like a striker, to be able to win the league with Arsenal.
He's got 5 in 5 Premier League games now. Could he go on a run and help Arsenal go on a run at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. And North London Derby is the biggest game for him. You ask them Arsenal fans, they're going to love him now. They'll be singing his name all the way home. You know, he's won the hearts of them. You talked about Eze in the first game. I mean, he's done nothing since. And all of a sudden he turns up here and he scored another 2 goals. He can have another rest for another 3 or 4 weeks now, is it? I mean, he's done his job. This is a massive game of football, and Gyökeres to score in this will give him a huge amount of confidence to move forward. I just think he can still develop. If he's willing to develop, he could develop, because some of the things he needs to learn, he should have already learned by now. You know, he spends so much time, Addy and Michael, fighting with Dragazin, and it can. You know, how much energy does that take up? You know, sometimes you just got to use your body, just knock people and come away. He's wrestling with them all game. Credit to him, he keeps going. I mean, he'll have a fight with anyone, but I just think he can use his body better. And I think he uses so much energy up, having a wrestle with the defenders time and time again, where his movement could be cuter.
Yeah, I can't believe how average he can play. And as you say to him, I'm watching him, I think, you are a big, strong guy, but it's almost like he's not even thinking of trying to win, just to try to make it difficult for the defender.
Yeah.
No.